Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Take 5. Hope you're having a great day. It's Thursday, one more day this week, and we'll be at Friday and we'll be at the end of this week. Hey, we've been talking about the message that I preached Sunday. That message was entitled Promise plus Obedience equals Blessing. God's Word is filled with promise after promise that He wants to manifest in the life of His people. There's one thing standing in the way about 99% of the time, and that's our obedience. That's what God expects out of us. Every promise is a doorway that opens up into a manifest blessing, but we've got to bridge the gap between the two with our obedience. I believe there are many people, Christians, that are just not living in the blessings of God that they could in this life because they've simply not been obedient to God's Word. God gives us a list of things, and we've covered some of them. There's no way to cover them all, but we've covered the ones that I believe are the most important that He expects out of us. He tells us, first of all, seek His kingdom. Don't seek the things of this life, but seek His kingdom, and He'll handle that. We seek the spiritual, He handles the material. If we'll follow His promise and obey His promise, He will bring us into blessing. He tells us that we're to work. That's God's command. Work. Have a good work ethic. Have the right heart in working, and He will bring good to us because of that. He tells us to tithe. That's a condition that we cannot escape. Tithe. Bring the 10% of our income to Him, and He'll open up the windows of heaven, the floodgates, one translation said, over our life. But again, that promise will come into a blessing when we obey. He tells us to be generous to the poor. God loves those that are poor, and He tells us to bring hope to their life by being generous to those that are truly poor and needy, and then He will do some awesome things in our life. Yesterday, we also talked about being a mission supporter. The one thing that is dearest to God's heart are lost souls. And while we all can't go to and be a missionary, and we all can't sit at a pulpit or teach at a pulpit, God expects us to give into kingdom ministry so that souls can be saved. And when we do that, He has promised to bless us in an abundant manner. One more thing that I want to mention this week that I believe is so important, and that is that we learn to be content. God has so many promises for us that will turn into blessings, but we must be obedient and learn to be content where we are. When we're not content, we're in an uproar. When we're not content, we have no peace. When we're not content, we're afraid and we're fearful and we're angry and all of these things. Contentment is something that we must learn, and we must practice it well. In Philippians Chapter 4, Paul said to that church, he said, I rejoice greatly in the Lord that at last you renewed your concern for me. Indeed, you were concerned, but you had no opportunity to show it. He said, I'm not thanking you for this money that you've sent because I'm in need. He said, because I have learned, there it is, learn. It wasn't something that was a natural instinct to him. He learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. Now, in order to do that, you have got to learn not to depend on circumstances for satisfaction. Our prayer should be, God, always give us minds that are always content with our present condition. That should be our prayer. And when we obey Him, then our minds will be content with that. Because we need to face this fact. If we're really being obedient to God, He's the author of our present condition. Yeah, whether we're fat or thin, whether we're full or empty, if we're really obeying God, He's the author of our present condition, because nothing happens without His approval. So we should learn to be content because God is the author and the finisher of our faith. Albert Barnes said it like this: when I have a contented mind, I am always in a continual feast. Now, Paul, I don't believe, had always had a content mind, because he said, I have learned. He learned through the teaching of the Holy Spirit. He learned through experiences that God's divine providence brought his way. He learned these things because there's some things that we can only learn through experience. One thing I'll leave with you before we go today, if you're going to have true contentment, you're going to have to develop the ability to flex and adapt with this constant changing world. Paul said, I know what it is to be in need. I know what it is to have plenty. I've learned the secret of being content in every situation, whether well-fed, hungry, or whether living in plenty or in want. And then he followed it up by saying, because I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. That's how you do it, friend. That's how you learn to be content in every circumstance, whether you have plenty or it seems like not enough. You do it through the strength Christ gives us. When we learn to obey in contentment, God will take us from promise to blessing, and it is awesome to live in that manifest blessing. Well, hey, I hope you have a great Thursday. I look forward to being with you right here on Friday's edition of Take 5. Until then, God bless you. Have a great day.